Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Historic Challenges here on MotoGP 20, and depending on how well this goes, this could be the penultimate episode, since if we look at the historic market, you can see that we've got Valentino Rossi 2009, an ultra rare, and Casey Stoner 2007, an ultra rare, and that is it. The only two riders left to buy, and if we win the challenge and get 15,000, we will have enough to buy one of them. In fact, if we actually achieve the challenge at all, we'll be able to buy one of them, because we've got 6,000 already and we only need 12,000, well, nearly 13,000 for Valentino. So this time it is at Qatar, and the last time we played as Valentino Rossi 2012. I have been asked to play as Marco Simoncelli, so that's what I will be doing for this episode, because you never know, this could be the last 4 strokes episode. Probably won't be, but it could be 500s next time. So we'll play as Marco Simoncelli. We obviously have already done Qatar once before, but you don't get to pick the tracks, so a bit of a shame. I think last time we were playing as Christopher Mullen. But we'll get straight into this race then. I'll see you on the grid. So we're on the grid then, and Shane Byrne is on pole position. I've never seen that before in any of these challenges. Max Biaggi alongside him. That's pretty usual to have Max Biaggi in second. I'm guessing Barros or Okawa will be in third position there. So we've got Jorge Lorenzo in 19th. That is the 2012 Jorge Lorenzo. So we're definitely going to watch out for him. Last time, I think it was him at this track as well, actually. He did have a couple of crashes, which made it so we were able to beat him. Obviously, we're on the last year of the 800s. We are on a 2011 bike. I'll put on a medium rear tyre here. Usually a soft can probably work here, to be fair. But there's not too much point in using that when I could use a medium and easily get to the end. Now, I'm going to lower the fuel and put 5 lots of fuel in, because this bike you can't change the fuel map anyway. So actually, I think I'll put half race distance in. I'll put 4 laps of fuel in, because that should still be fine on power mode 0 the whole way through the race. So yeah, let's start this race now then. Hopefully we can try and get those 15,000 diamonds for first place. So it is Okawa on the other end of the front row, but Shane Byrne on pole, I've never seen that, so I don't know what's happened to either Hayden or Nakano. I'm guessing they're just not in this race then. Oh, I've jumped the start. Of course I've jumped the start, right. I think we might need to redo that one. Oh, and I've crashed as well anyway, so even better. Oh, we took out Vermeulen. Right, this has been the worst start ever. I've been playing so much online, and I'm not used to doing the clutch, because you don't have to do the clutch online, so I just didn't do the clutch. Right, so this time I'm not going to forget about the clutch, even though it says it at the bottom of the screen. You think I'd know, but waiting for the lights to go out, lights out, and away we go. Trying to get past Kato here. We've passed Kato, I think. Yes, we have. So up to 5th place, up to 4th place. Are we going to go for the lead into the first corner? I think we are. Although the bike is not wanting to stop. So we went for the lead very briefly, but we are down into 9th place now. So it really wasn't worth it in the end. No 1000s in front of us right now. Oh, we had a contact with Sete. There's Melandri trying to shove his way through on the Spider-Man, obviously the Estoril livery. So we're past one of the Ducatis there. I didn't see which one it was. Rossi 2003 trying to go around the outside of him. So we're back up into a decent position already, but we've gone a bit wide. So that's allowed Kato to come back up the inside. Oh, there's Nakano. So Nakano is in this race. So quite why he wasn't on pole, I don't know. Usually tends to be. So into turn 7 then. Oh, Melandri almost hitting us up the back. Oh, Nakano. Oh no, big wheelie, and we're down again. I think Lorenzo had just gone past us as well anyway, but yeah, we're down. I've got to remember that these bikes do not stop as well as the modern day ones. So waiting for the lights to go out then. Lights on, away we go. Obviously the reason we failed was the high side, not the high side, the wheelie, but we went really far off at the first corner, which didn't help. So we broke quite early for this first turn this time. There is a Ducati trying to get the inside, but he can't quite do it. We're going to pass Austin Powers Rossi here. Yes, we are. So we've got past him. Oh, we've gone for a proper dive of Barros. Almost had Barros off there, but it's got us up into 4th place, so I guess it was worth it in a way. Up the inside of Toru Okawa, up into P3 now then. So Max Biaggi just ahead of us, and Shane Byrne leading the race. Shane Byrne has been doing a lot better in these challenges as of late. Maybe in the patch they've increased his AI performance, perhaps? I'm not really sure. But we're looking at the inside of Max Biaggi now. That's a risky move on Max Biaggi, but we've got through. I've accidentally pressed Y to go over to the temperatures. So up to 2nd position, which is where we want to be, of course, right now. We want to try and get into 1st, I guess, but right now it's nice to be near the front, away from Jorge Lorenzo, because he's going to be zooming on the straights. See, it's not going to help that we're also in power mode 0, but we've got a low amount of fuel on, so we won't be stressing the tyres too much. We should have pretty good pace at the beginning of this race as well, compared to the other AI. Of course, they'll be burning more fuel, but I've got less to start with, so I should be faster on the straights for that. And I should be able to carry more speed through the corners because I'm lighter as well. The burn is getting away. Biaggi's still behind me, so it's not Lorenzo yet, so that's good. Looking behind, I can't see Lorenzo anywhere. So I should probably just focus on trying to catch burn. So we've already got enough fuel to finish the race. We've got 9 laps of fuel already, and we've done 1 lap. And we've filled up with 4. So 1 second behind burn then. Lorenzo up to 3rd place now, so we've got to get going. And we've gone in very wide into the first corner, so that is not going to help me out at all. So allowed him through, but we've got the run on the inside of him. We're not going to get that stopped though, are we? No, we're not. So Lorenzo's through. So that's going to be any opportunity of beating him done. Because the 1000s are overpowered as we saw in the previous challenge. You know what though? Oh, we've just absolutely hit Lorenzo. I didn't even mean to do that. I was about to say we're catching up to him through that section. We've absolutely just hit him out the way. So we're back up into 2nd position. Completely unintentional there. He just carried such little speed through that section. I just hit into him. So now we're back on the hunt of burn again. So down the straight then, looking behind us. Here comes Lorenzo. Is that Casey Stoner behind him? Yes it is. We've got 2 1000cc bikes behind us. That is a scary thing to see at Qatar. And there goes Lorenzo back through again because we've run wide once again at turn 1, but we've got the run. I'm going to go for it at the inside of turn 2 like on the previous lap, but once again we're not going to get that one stopped. Oh, we've got an amazing run through turn 5, closing up to Lorenzo. We're not going to be close enough to make a move though into turn 4, unfortunately. Here comes Stoner on us now. Oh, Stoner's looking at the inside. Stoner, watch out, man. Lorenzo is stuck up behind burn here. That could give us an opportunity as we go towards the last corner. Oh, are we going to look at the inside of Lorenzo? Yes, we are once again on Lorenzo. That's an aggressive move again, but we've not got it stopped once again. So another dive bomb, another failure. So Lorenzo will probably blast past Burn here on this straight then. So Lorenzo is probably going to get out of range. Burn has kept that lead way longer than he should have done just because I've been holding these guys back. So 53.5 there. We can't compete with that. Oh, Stoner's gone underneath me now as well. So we're down into 4th place, but we should be able to get Burn anyway. But oh, hang on, we've got a really good run on Stoner as well. So here we go, side by side with Casey Stoner. So back in front of Stoner then. Oh, we've really moved over on him there, but the front tyre is absolutely destroyed on this bike, so I'm pushing the front so much to actually stop it. Through turn 9, we're closing up again, so the AI seems very slow through that sector. So maybe we can have a look on Burn very shortly. So here we go, we're looking at the inside of turn 13 on Burn. Oh, side by side. Oh, we've got to bash him out of the way there. We have not been clean in this race. I have been so dirty in this race. With every single move I've done has been really over the line, overly aggressive, and they're not even all meant to have been like that. The ones on the 1000s have been a bit dive bomby, I will admit, like that's kind of deliberate, but that move on Burn, I just kind of went up the inside of him, accidentally went into it, and that's allowed Stoner straight through at the last corner, so that's quite bad. But we get some slipstream off him. Obviously he's got way more power, but it might help us out here. So 52.9 for Lorenzo, 53.9 for me, so I'm a second slower than him. So as we come up towards the line then at the end of the 5th lap, we actually haven't lost too much ground to Stoner really. Stoner's just on the fastest lap as well. So 53.4, we are lapping very well on this bike. So then as we come up towards the line to start the penultimate lap, again Stoner has got a little bit further away from us. But we're in the 52s now. Like, honestly, we are lapping so well. It's just such a shame. We're actually doing the laps Lorenzo was doing earlier when he first got to the front. Oh, Stoner's down! Absolutely massive crash for Casey Stoner there, and that was a horrendous high side. And I thought he was definitely catching Lorenzo. I think he probably could have caught up to Lorenzo, and there could have been some sort of showdown in the final lap, but Stoner is now out. There's no way he got back on from that, and if he did, then, well, he's not going to beat us because there's a lap or so to go, and I'd only lost about a second to him since he got in front of us. Like I said, my pace has been pretty good, so Lorenzo's a couple seconds up the road now, so he's just got to bring it on home, but I wouldn't put it past him, that same thing happening. So as we're about to start the final lap then, we only slowed down by a 10th on that lap, so I thought it probably wasn't such a good lap, but it was only a 10th slower. Stoner is back on, by the way, he's up to 5th again, but yeah, he's not going to be troubling us. So as we come towards the final corner then, we've actually gained a lot of time on Lorenzo on this lap, about 7 tenths. So actually, if we had a few more laps, I think I would have actually caught back up to Lorenzo, which is incredible to think about. But as we come up towards the line then, it's going to be 2nd place in this challenge behind Lorenzo. Casey Stoner was having a horrendous crash ahead of us there. Yeah, so Lorenzo actually didn't have the best pace because his fastest lap was actually slower than mine, which is absolutely unbelievable. I actually had a better fastest lap than the guy on the 1000cc bike, and I was actually catching him at the end again. I think Stoner definitely would have caught him up, and there could have been some fireworks if Stoner hadn't had that horrendous accident. Apparently Biaggi did a 52.6, but we all know that didn't happen. Same with the 52.3 from Nakano. So that was actually really, really enjoyable. I definitely enjoyed that because I was having to push flat out to try and keep up with those 1000s. The front tyre was so hot the entire race. I probably would have been better off with a medium front tyre. I completely forgot that the same thing actually happened last time when I was playing this Formula, that the front got overheated at this circuit trying to stop it. So I probably should have used a medium front, but that actually could have been the difference. It might have been the difference between me catching up to Lorenzo, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I am actually quite shocked by that. I know we've beat the 1000s on an 800 before, but to actually be able to run at their pace with a track that's got that long of a home straight, where they can come from the back of the grid to about first in a lap, I'm actually really happy with that. So we'll have a look at the replay then, we'll have a look at what happened to Stoner. We saw it live. I think I know exactly what's happened. He sort of like done a bit of a wheelie and had a high side from that, but it looked so brutal from the off-board shot. Now here's something I don't do very often. Let's watch it from the TV replay off-board camera and see how brutal of a crash it is. So here he comes, coming out of turn 6, and he's closing down Lorenzo, and look at that! Horrendous high side, his body ragdolling across the track, and obviously we had to dive to the left to sort of avoid him. But wow, that was a horrendous accident. And he got back on as well, which is so strange. So now if we watch it from the third person camera angle, you can see he does a wheelie, and again, yeah, the bike just seemed to grip up randomly and just really, really unsettled him. That wasn't a massive mistake from Stoner. It was only the wheelie. He probably could have controlled that, but I think something's happened with the physics. We'll have to have a look when we slow it down. So here we go then. So we can see he's getting his front wheel up in the air. He's going onto that curb on the outside. The front wheel continues to come up. Still coming up. At this point, he's probably going to crash regardless, actually. So he's let off the power now. But look at the lean angle he's put in, actually, to the bike. He's then tried to correct it because he can see it's going wrong, and oh no, that is really unsettled the bike. I mean, at this point, that's a completely unrealistic angle there that he's got, and then he's tried to save it by bringing the front back down, I guess. I don't know, unless the physics have just sort of thrown him. Yeah, he's gassed it. He's gassed it. As the physics has thrown it the other way, he's gassed it to try and get back on, and that was such a brutal high side. I'll have to watch that from on board my bike in a second as well, but wow, that was really, really, really brutal. So here we are then on board the front of the Marco Simoncelli bike. Here you go. A massive high side. Look at how much his bike tumbled across the track. It just looked so horrendous when it happened live. I thought that it could happen at some point. I was definitely expecting one of them to maybe crash from something like that at the front. I was hoping they'd catch each other up and maybe have each other off or slow each other down, because I was lapping very, very similarly to Casey, really. I was only a few tenths of a second behind him per lap, so I thought maybe if they actually started battling, I actually could have made that difference. I probably joined in the battle, and obviously being a player, the battle usually can go your way. But unfortunately, it didn't quite happen, so Lorenzo managed to get the victory. But yeah, very, very interesting and chaotic race there. So then we get our 12,000 diamonds, which takes us up to 18,300 diamonds. So then on the market, we've got the choice of Valentino Rossi 2009 or Casey Stoner 2007. And considering Casey Stoner went for a bit of a tumble in that race, I think we will buy Casey Stoner 2007, which leaves us with 5,900 diamonds left, so we should be able to afford Valentino Rossi in the next episode as long as we finish in the top 3. So Valentino Rossi 2009, the only rider left for us to buy then in the historic mode. So a bit unfortunate really then that we are actually coming to the end of the historic challenges. I've definitely enjoyed these so much more than I did on MotoGP 19. They were pretty bad on MotoGP 19. I like the concept of what it was trying to do. It was a bit more like the real events. It was like some of the stuff from the Valentino Rossi game where obviously there was those were basically just real events from sort of 2014 and 15, but sort of modified to just be events through Rossi's career. Like, I liked that, and I liked the real events from MotoGP 14, the 2013 real events, and the 2014 real events from MotoGP 15, and the historic events I think they had in both those games as well. They weren't bad, but the problem was last year with the historic challenges was you couldn't change the AI difficulty. So what they did to compensate with that, you just had to pull away a ridiculous margin, which meant you actually had to push. But it just seemed a bit ridiculous to me. It was really boring as well because you were just riding around on your own every time. Because you either had a time trial where you're riding around on your own on the track doing nothing, or you had to beat someone by a ridiculous margin where you probably see them for the first few seconds of the race if it happened to start you behind them. If not, then you'd literally already be in front of them and you'd just be doing a time trial again. So it was a little bit boring, to be honest. I quite liked the challenges where you had to beat one guy, but then there was another guy about 10 seconds in front that you didn't have to beat. It was interesting trying to beat that guy. That was actually kind of fun. These have been so much better, so I'm going to miss it when the series is done. I want to try and keep bringing some historical content, because otherwise we'll literally just have career mode and online as the only 2 series. I want to try and do some more one-off videos as well, just some sort of random races. I'm kind of waiting for the actual season to start as well, and I'll start doing some challenges at the respective tracks. So I'll tell you already that I've got planned. I want to do a last to first challenge at Jerez. So when the first Jerez race is, I want to do a last first challenge there. I want to try and do that at every single round, but obviously there is going to be a couple of double headers, so I don't know whether I'll do the challenge twice, since it's 2 different riders, or perhaps do it in Moto 2 one time, or Moto E, or Moto 3, or I'm definitely going to do it in MotoGP at least once for each track, but I might do it in a different category as well. Let me know what you think. We'll also try and do something wacky with the track that week as well. Yeah, any suggestions you've got, let me know, and let me know what you think of those ideas as well. I want to try and do some more challenges, maybe some lower percent AI challenges. I did one last year where I did Silverstone. I think it was on 20% AI, if I'm not mistaken, which is the lowest. I did about 5 laps, I believe, and I went through the pit lane once, and I tried to still win. I think we did just manage to pull it off in the end. But enough rambling. I don't want to make this video too long talking about stuff that's happening in other series. So I hope you did enjoy that video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next video.